Have you started off on the back foot in FPL this season? Well, this is the wildcard video for you. We are going to be breaking down why you might want to play the wildcard and going through our best wildcard team for you. So if you're ready for this video, make sure you smash a huge thumbs up. Make sure that you get in the comments and let me know your thoughts on the team. And let's firstly kick off on why would you want to play a wildcard. Now, there's a couple reasons on why after game week 1 you want to play a wildcard. The first one is you might have some big issues in your team. Maybe you pick someone like a Marmouche and you paired them with another asset that's either gotten injured or a Conser who has got a suspension. You might be going, crap, I might be struggling to get a team out on the park. Now, I feel like if you've been engaged with FPL over the course of the season, you would have picked a team that's probably suitable enough to get up and about for this week. But if you're in a position where you've got a couple players who are flagged or unavailable, or maybe you had Solanke and then you've gone with a Marmouche and you got some other minutes risks in there and maybe you're relying on a Mark Guiu this week, then that is one reason where I could see you going for a wild card. I've got chasing price, or I've got price rises. There we go. I should be chasing price rises, so don't worry about my poor spelling. But chasing price rises could be another reason why you wanted to wild card, but you've probably missed the boat on that at this point. I feel like few players have moved already. Erling Haaland has gone up today as well. So I feel like if you're going to do it for price rises, you've probably missed the boat. But I think most people are in option number 3 here of panicking. Do not panic at the moment. If you've used tools like Fantasy Football Hub, Fantasy Football Scout, you've been engaged within the community, your teams may actually be in a better position than you think because some really big premium assets didn't perform this week. You look at Cole Palmer, you look at Bruno Fernandes, Florian Wirtz. There are plenty of players this weekend who are really good long-term picks. I even look at my own team. I went with Diouf. Probably didn't need to go there. I think I was chasing a bit more of game week 1 upside. That's a more frustrating pick for me, but that's not going to make me a wild card out of my team. Same with an Ismail Assar. I knew his first 3 games weren't going to be easy, but I want to hold him long term because the fixtures turn for Crystal Palace. I don't think we've had enough information change about our team. So let's kick over to the wildcard team because this is more or less what you guys are here for today. And I'm going to jump over to Fantasy Football Hub. You can see it there next to me as well. This is the team that I've gone with. Now, this is the optimized team, so you can see for Game Week 2, Fantasy Football Hub give this a rating of 95% with a 93 Game Week rating with 0.2 in the bank. Now, I think I made this yesterday, so this isn't accounting for every price rise, but we've got 5.6 on Reinders and 7.1 on Semenyo. But let me run through the team first because we've got Dubravka and Sanchez as a rotation, and you'll see why we've gone with that rotation in a minute. We have gone with Gabriel of Arsenal to go with Munoz, Virgil van Dijk, who's on the bench this week for Newcastle, Esteve and Agbadou. So we're going to talk rotations in a minute. The rest of the team, though, has Mohamed Salah, Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, Tierney, Reinders, and Anderson. So we're going with both 5.5, 5.6 midfielders with Semenyo as our 7 million and then Bruno and Salah and then Watkins and Mateta with Strand Larsen. So that is the 15. And we're going to go through what this 15 looks like. I did do a short on this side only yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, go and check that out as well. But this team is really, really good in the long term. What it gives us is some really good balance in the side. The things that are missing, it's probably, maybe a premium short. A lot of teams have a Salah, Palmer, Watkins, and Bruno, but we've tried to spread the money a little bit more evenly. So we've foregone Cole Palmer, who I do think is a good option still, but we couldn't fit him in with a Semenyo, with Mateta and Watkins, and with 2 6 millions and a 5.5. Everyone's been talking about that 5.5 bracket. We saw Virgil go crazy with DEFCON against Bournemouth. I don't think that's going to be the case all the time. I do think there's going to be times where Virgil, will be good for clean sheet. And then I think there'll be other games like Arsenal where he'll be good for DEFCON. So I think at 6 million, he's probably one of the most nailed 6 million defenders. Gabriel, it was interesting that Saliba got the DEFCON points against Manchester United. I think they probably defended a lot more than people thought they were going to have to. I'm not expecting Gabriel to get defensive contributions against Leeds. I'm expecting that Gabriel will have a lot more of the ball, as in with Arsenal, they'll be a bit more in control, but clean sheet potential is there and goal potential from set piece is massive with Gabriel. Daniel Munoz, I absolutely love the Daniel Munoz pick. I wish I had him in my side. I went away from that 5.5 slot, and that's probably the one thing I regretted the most is not having Anderson, and I went 6.5 and a 4.5, and I could have gone 5.5 and a 5.5. But Daniel Munoz is someone who I'm going to be watching with a lot of guilt and a lot of jealousy of owners, because coming into this run, Forest, Villa, but then Sunderland, West Ham, even Liverpool at home is not the worst fixture, Everton and Bournemouth, and I just think we want a piece of the Crystal Palace attack or even their defence. Dubravka and Sanchez, interesting rotation. Most weeks you're going to just play Robert Sanchez. You get West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, Man United, Brighton, Liverpool, Forest. You're hoping for a combination of save and clean sheet points. Where I like this team, though, is this sort of midfield 5 and front 3. So the 8 attackers in this side, you get Salah, who I still think is the best captaincy option most weeks as well. Very, very keen on him. High ownership. You just don't want to go against Mohamed Salah. Semenyo, I mean, if everyone knew he was going to perform well in game week 1, we probably would have started with him because the other fixtures are actually quite strong. You've got Wolves, Spurs, Brighton, Newcastle, Leeds and Fulham. I expect goals in these Bournemouth games, which is why we don't have a Bournemouth defender in this team, but it's why we've gone with a Bournemouth attacker because they are locked on to score goals. Bruno, one defensive contribution away from the defensive contribution points. So I think in the harder games, he'll play deeper. In the easier games, he'll get forward a little bit more. So I just think he's going to be an asset. We've spoken about him so much that you just want in your team. Reinders and Anderson right now looking like the real premium, cheaper midfielders. I think Stack from Leeds, as I said on the live stream on Tuesday night, is going to be somebody that I'm keeping an eye on as an enabler pick. But I think right now, if you can get Anderson and Reinders, you're just going to get attacking threat, defensive contributions, assist potential, bonus, points, clean sheet points. I think these two as a combination of 5.5s will give you the best. Mateta, long-term, as a nailed-on 7.5 forward, is probably the only one with Chris Wood. But Mateta's penalties, 90 minutes, and I probably should have just gone there from game week 1. I've chased João Pedro, and I'm going to watch João Pedro through the first 3 weeks. And if I'm not content with what I see, I reckon Mateta for game week 4 could be the option. For Sunderland, West Ham, Liverpool, Everton, Bournemouth, I really want triple Crystal Palace for that run. So Mateta is someone who's in our wildcard draft. Ollie Watkins, again, locked in, 90 minutes. Aston Villa have not brought in a striker, so I'm very, very keen on Ollie Watkins. And Strand-Larsen, it's interesting. I did have him in, and I've kept him in for the purpose of this video because he was in the short. There are some links about him going to Newcastle potentially if this Wissa deal falls through. I still think as long as he stays at Wolves, he's the main man there. He's going to be on penalties and he's going to play a lot. He did come off against Man City, but they were 4-0 down. I can understand why they're protecting their star man up front. So that is the team for game week 1. Now, game week 2, I should say. Now, why I love this side in particular is how good this looks in the long term. So for game week 2, it still gets a 95 game week rating. It's probably lacking an Arsenal captain if I needed to critique this side for a wild card. But again, if you're playing your wild card, you need this team to last you a very, very long time, or you need to be content with rolling transfers for the next few weeks. So what this draft gives you is a really solid 14 players and Esteve as your only bench foddery player who is playable in fixtures like Sunderland and Leeds and some of these lower teams down. So he is playable, but I wouldn't want to rely on him or Dubravka long term. So if we look at game week 3 and we go and optimize this side, we are now moving into a 97 overall rating, 91% game week rating on game week 3 with predicted points of 63.1. Again, you're not going to need to make any transfers here as well. And the team just looks really good on paper. You get Virgil against Arsenal at home. Again, if you really think Arsenal are going to win that game and keep a clean sheet, you could back Gabriel, but you've got the option of either defences there. You don't have any Arsenal attack, really, that's going to impact Virgil van Dijk's defensive numbers, so I think you just play the home fixture. But then you get Agbadou against Everton, you get Munoz, and then you've got Esteve. So you've got a little bit of a defense headache, but this is where I love it, though. You get Strand-Larsen against Everton. Mateta and Watkins play each other in a game that you hope has goals in it. Anderson, Semenyo, Bruno against Burnley as your vice-captain, and Salah at home to Arsenal. Now, you could easily back Bruno in that game as well. And you've still got Reinders against Brighton. Then in game week 4, I really do like where this starts to turn. And I'll show you a few game weeks. It goes up to 98% overall on the team rating, 93 on the game week rating. So that is game week 3 for you. It's Strand-Larsen against Newcastle who hits the bench. You could choose between him and Anderson, but all the other fixtures look relatively solid except for Bruno against Man City. but it just gets juicier and juicier, and you're going to have a bench boost, I'm assuming, locked away here at some point. You get a 95 game week rating now in game week 5. You'd want to be looking at maybe another Palace asset at this point too if you needed to make a move. Again, you've got Gabriel playing Man City at home, or you've got Agbadou playing against Leeds, or I mean, you wouldn't really want to go Esteve against Nottingham Forest, but Agbadou is definitely playable. But then game week, I think it's game week 8 where this team really kicks on. Game week 6, this is the Man City Burnley fixture, so this could potentially be a free hit week for you. Then you get into game week 7, you're at a 92 overall rating, but I think game week 8 from memory was an extremely high. Now, this is all without making any transfers. You're already at a 96% rating, according to Fantasy Football Hub, in game week 8 for your bench boost, which is Anderson against Chelsea, Esteve against Leeds, Agbadou against Sunderland, and Robert Sanchez against Nottingham Forest. So this is a very, very well-balanced draft that will allow you to roll many, many transfers ahead of time, which is exactly what we need. You need opportunities to roll transfers if you're going to play this early wild card. So that is the team as it stands. Make sure if you've enjoyed this video that you smash a huge thumbs up on it, and that you get and hit a subscription to the channel, because we have lots and lots of content for you guys on the channel. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you very, very soon for another video.